Thank you for joining the Soul Sisters Cafe. Okay, Tracey, what are we chatting about today?
My topic for today, because I've had some experiences of it lately, always living alive, right? Or living, well, we want to live alive, but...
I certainly hope so. I hope you're living alive.
Living through my own experiences. That's it. Living alive. Is, my brother-in-law would have this great phrase that is, if you spot it, you got it. And, or, this idea of something tweaks you or something tweaks me. So I have this belief that if something tweaks me, it is for me. It could be, it's an opportunity. It's a requirement for growth for me. So if something tweaks me, and you actually were probably what?
If something tweaks you, then it's for you to think about for hours and hours and hours and gnash on.
Right? And you actually just now talking about this, you were like the first, you gave me such a great analogy of it.
Of course I did. Of course I did.
Because you're my bestie. Yes.
What was it? I don't even know what you're talking about.
That with you or no? What you told me many moons ago.
No, I have no idea what you're referring to.
I'm
serious.
See, this is the great thing, right, about this podcast is that it like shows us these moments in time that were actually very instrumental in our own growth.
Right.
For either one.
Yes.
And like how you impacted me or how I impacted you that we have no idea about. Like the other person has no idea about it.
Right. Which is happening in our lives all the time. And it could be the person at the store or a friend in our past, and it just never comes to light. But yet the impact was made either direction.
Yes. So I'll start with the impact because I think it's actually a good example for our friends, which it was many years ago. It was when my mom lived back in California. And my mom has a snark side, a big snark side. And it's tamed down. It has tamed down. And I was so pissed. I was visiting her and I was so frustrated at what she said to me. One of her favorite sayings, you're so much work. You're so high maintenance. And I was sharing this with you a few years ago and you were explaining to me why this was actually for me. And I was very confused. Like, I don't understand if it tweaks me, then I have it, then I own it. When something tweaks us, we actually we're really very afraid that we're doing it or we're actually doing it. So I said, can you explain it to me? And you said, Tracey, you said if your mom said to you, you're such a shoplifter. Right?
Yes. Okay. Yes. So, right. Okay. Now I'm there.
You want to help out? You want to go on?
Now I know what you're talking about. If someone said, hey, wow, that's a really weird hand you have growing out of your head. And you'd be like, what? Sure. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. Guess you see a hand. I don't, or wow, really? You dyed your hair purple? That's kind of out there. And you're like, purple? What are they talking about? And you may, question the soundness of what they're saying to you, but you don't take it on. It doesn't tweak you. You just kind of go, that's weird. But if they say, you seem a little defensive, or so what she said to you, you're a lot of work. You're so much work.
Yeah. Stop being so much work.
Stop being so much work. And then you're like, am I? Oh God.
And I'm pissed.
I have a fear of, right. And so that's different. Because there seems to be something there that you feel is truthful and we can get angry about it and defensive, but it hits a note that strikes a chord in you. And so there's something probably there for you. Whereas if she said, oh my gosh, Tracey, purple glasses, and you're like, they're orange. I don't even know what you're talking about. And you move on. Did that
exactly. Mm-hmm. It was so helpful because the analogy you gave me back then, I think, was like a shoplifter, which I'm not a shoplifter. I know, right? Like if you said to me...
I don't even remember giving you that analogy.
Yeah. If you said to me, Tracey, you're such a shoplifter, I'd be like, oh, that's funny. Why'd you say that? That's weird. Right?
Right. That has no validity. That has no validity, no truth.
It rolls off. It's just like,
right. There's nothing accurate about that.
Right. Right. That's just funny. That's just weird. I don't even know why you're saying that. That's odd.
Right.
And no emotional reaction from me, none. And if you said to me, Tracey, you're being high maintenance, I would be like, oh, God, I am.
She's probably right.
Oh, right.
I'm afraid of being high maintenance. Oh, shoot. She thinks I'm high maintenance.
There we go
Something
again.
is really wrong here.
Right.
Right.
So it's because I identify with it, or because I'm worried about it, or I have stuff with high maintenance. I have nothing with being a shoplifter. Nothing. We got the idea, right?
Yeah.
So this is the reason this is important, is because I know now, and you were the first person to really give me the example that really resonated for me, and I could really, dive into it. I know that when something tweaks me, when I have an emotional reaction to it, when it's like, wah, I know that it is for me. Sometimes I can figure it out. Like if my mom says you're being high maintenance, I go, okay, there's my mom saying that I can watch out for when I feel like I am possibly being like a lot like work or whatever, but I know who I am. I am an aspect of the divine in form. And I have this human body, and sometimes I'm doing wacky things, and I can always check in to see if I'm out of alignment with whatever my comment is. So I can check in now. So there's certain things that when I'm tweaked, I can figure it out. Another one is my man. He's so much food for fodder. We were just talking about this. Every week he gives me new hot topics.
New things to see about yourself. So many.
I know.
That sweet man of yours.
He's a gift that keeps on giving. So if I'm explaining a technology thing, which for whatever reason I have to...
Yeah.
Right.
I feel you. I see you. Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
How did I become the technology guru of the house? I don't know. But I did.
I just did.
I have the badge. I wear it. Uh-huh. Technology support.
IT department.
IT department. So it can be something so simple on his phone, and it seems completely simple to me. Mm-hmm. And I may have explained it to him before, most likely. Mm-hmm. I might have had a conversation with him, taught him how to do it.
Yeah.
And then he'll ask me again, and I'm impatient, and I'm aggravated, and I'm like, brah. So I have an emotional reaction, right? Okay, there's that. So I'm like, okay, so this is where I tweak. When I'm tweaked, I can get it. And I totally know that my mom was very impatient with me growing up, and I can be very impatient with myself. So when I'm not getting something right away, I can be very impatient with myself and like, God, Trace, what's it going to take here? And I know that my mom was very impatient. So impatience for me, when I feel impatient with him, it is, I know that it is for me because I have that within me. I'm not patient with myself sometimes, so I work on being more patient, more kind, more loving to myself. So every time he gives me this opportunity to feel impatience, I can then slow it down, and I can then be patient with him, which is good practice for me, being patient with me. Does that make sense? Or no?
It does. I have something I want to say. Which is, I think this is different than where you're going, so I'm just going to interject it quickly, and we can move to your Flavor Flav on this. That I know with my man, when I'm impatient, it's because of the perspective, he should know this. So if I've already told him once, as you mentioned, then it's like he should have been listening. He should know this already. Or I think it's so rudimentary and so simple. He should be able to figure this out. He should be a different way than he is. He should know this. I'm in a complete fight against what is actually true. It has not computed with his brain. It's a glitch. It's not making sense yet, but it should. Something should be different. And usually he should be different. And then I am massive. That creates some massive impatience for me. But then I think if this was a 2-year-old, I would not think they should know this phone, how to do this phone. And then I would just keep explaining, or a 6-year-old, I would find another way in because of the belief, they don't understand yet. Because I spend a lot of time watching thoughts and how they create certain emotions. So that's something there. But I think you're talking.
I love that. It's the same situation and how you perceive it or how you work through that and what it means for me and what it means for you. Super cool. Oh my gosh.
Right. And I mean, and there are times where I'm just going on and on over someone at the grocery store. And then I'm like, okay, what's here for me? But in the particular man thing, I know I've looked at why am I so impatient? Because it's not pretty and I don't enjoy it being impatient. And I know he doesn't appreciate it. And so I've discovered, I've become aware of a certain kind of point of view that causes impatience. But it seems like your flavor is more about how when something kind of gets a hold of us and won't let us go, and we want to blame that trigger, we want to blame that person or that circumstance, but we know too much now to go back and pretend we know too much to continue blaming some outside factor and to then reflect, to realize there's something for us to reflect on and learn. So continue.
Yes. I'm just going to back up a little second because I just remembered, like when my husband explained something to me and he has said it before, the way he takes it is I wasn't listening to him. I'm not listening to him. It's just it's the mirror for us. It is for us. Here we have these 3 exact situations and how we interpret them and what we would say about it is always for us. I mean, that's so outstanding. So for our friends, they can just see, okay, where do I fall? I mean, that's such a great one, impatience. I mean, unless you're Mother Teresa, maybe, I don't know, but we all experience it.
Yeah.
Okay, done. Here's the thing. So when it comes up, I can oftentimes find it. I'm tweaked. Oh, there's a judgment about that. Oh, yes. Question, thought.
Please to hold. So in the one with your man, you were impatient, and so you say you're going with the kind of I spotted, I got it. I'm impatient.
I can be very impatient with me.
With you, what do you do with it when you go?
When I notice impatience coming up, it's practice. If I can be patient with him, I'm practicing patience with me.
Oh, okay. So it's like, hey, there's this opportunity for me to practice this trait, this characteristic that would be so beneficial for my interior life.
Yes. And it is. It's amazing. I am so much more patient with myself.
Okay. You know what another thing I like to do is, I'm sorry, I felt like I interrupted.
No, I love this so much. I want to pinch us.
Oh, good. So then oftentimes when I go, okay, what is this thing that I'm doing toward this other person? Okay, so wait a minute. Where am I this trait? So I'm being impatient with this other person. Where am I impatient? Yeah, I could be impatient with myself and say, where's your spirituality? Where's all that loving kindness? And then look at you and you're all high and mighty and you can't even explain the TV remote, to someone that you love without impatience. And so there I am having it. And then getting mad at myself, I'll get mad at myself or impatient with myself with my lack of impatience. And that's what it is. I'll be like, look at me being impatient with myself right now about this situation.
Exactly. Right. I got it. It was outstanding.
Okay. Good.
Yes. And before we started this, just so that we can tell our friends the real deal, I was asking Jordan, okay, so how do I talk about this? She's like, we're just going to do it live.
Just figure it out for the people in front of the people.
Yes. And all the examples I think are super helpful because, we're being impatient with ourselves for being impatient.
Right.
Beautiful. So yes.
And then I have so much more compassion. Oh, that's yeah. No, okay, hang on. So here's another thing.
Wait for it.
So if he's not getting the TV remote, I'm thinking he should know this by now, but I'm not getting that he just doesn't understand it. I'm not getting him. Like, he's not getting the TV remote. I'm not getting him.
Well,
like,
basically,
usually what I'm pissed at him for doing, I'm doing.
Exactly. He's having the same experience. You both are having the exact same experience. Just one is at the remote and one is at him.
Right. And another example is like prejudice. So people have said, oh, the only people I'm prejudiced against are people who are prejudiced. Well, you're exhibiting prejudice. It's the same. You're all pissed at them because they don't like a certain group, but you're not liking that group of people that doesn't like a certain group. You spot it. You got it. You're doing the same exact thing.
Yes. Everything is a reflection for us. So, I mean, just all those examples, so in my life, right, as I move through, I know that everything and every human being is a reflection for me. It is actually for my own growth. So if I'm, so I'm very attuned to the opportunities for growth because I appreciate them sometimes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes some more than others.
Exactly. And I didn't have the right metaphor, but the prejudice metaphor is helpful.
I thought that was outstanding.
No, before the prejudice metaphor. But what's great about it is because I've been one of those people. I just don't like the people who are prejudiced. But I'm like, I've decided that there's a criteria for which it is okay to be prejudiced against a person. Oh, I see why those people don't like that other group, because they think in their mind there is a justification. They see it as justified and completely right that they should be okay with discriminating and having prejudice against that certain group. Just like here I am sitting in my skin having a prejudice against that group that's having a prejudice against the other group. But I think I'm right. I'm like, that's how they feel. I get it. And so I
love that.
And then I go, oh, I get it. And so I have, instead of that separation of seeing those people as separated, then I see how we're the same. And
Amen.
Then I can switch. So same thing with David. He's so frustrated and he just wants to learn. He just wants to figure it out. It's just not making sense. And I can find that in myself. I can find a time or the one that I'm having. Like, I just want him to understand. I just want him to be a different way. Just like he wants he's telling me, no, I pushed it. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, I think 99.9% you didn't do the right step. I'm pretty sure. But you're certain. You're so certain you've done it right? And so I'm so certain that I've explained it right to him and that he should know, because my explanation was spot friggin' on. And then, so I can totally relate to this. I'm like, oh, I get it. Totally frustrating when you're so certain you've done it the right way and it's not working out for you. So him with the remote and me with him. Okay, breathe and bring some love to the equation. So
that's such a bonus, Jordan. That is such a bonus.
What part?
I mean, to this podcast, to this talk, because one is you are
something about separate.
Because the bonus is like, yes, if you spot it, you got it, and then what to do. But this is, in some circumstances, not all of them, but in some circumstances, it allows us to have empathy, to not be separate,
compassion,
but to become one. Oh, of course, I totally understand. That's a great one for me. I've never thought about it like that. I am going to put that in my magical bag, or this way. I don't know where anybody's it.
Where's the bag? Where's the magical bag?
My spiritual toolbox. I call it my spiritual toolbox.
Okay.
Jordan's heard me say that a million times. That is totally going into my spiritual toolbox, to my growth, evolution, my growth, evolution, and spiritual toolbox. Totally.
Cool.
Okay, so what were you saying?
So moving on.
So sometimes we can see them, and then however we navigate in that, we go, okay, there's something, I spot it. Oh, now I see how you got it. Or whatever. Sometimes I can see that.
Get off my damn high horse, because I got it too.
Exactly. Or,
right.
Oh yeah, I'm judging them, but I'm totally doing that stuff, or whatever it is. Right. And there are times when I'm tweaked, and I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you a story, and I have no idea how it's for me.
Okay. Bring it on. Yeah.
So here's the disclaimer. it may be very easy, Jordan, for you to see.
Yeah, totally. Probably. But you know what's interesting? As you're like the setup for the story that you're going to tell, with all of your spiritual tools and everything, I find it hard to believe that you can't find a way to see it for yourself or something, or how it's for you. So I'm fascinated about what your story is going to be. But I know it's true. I can just get caught in all my about the person or the trigger.
Yeah. And of course, my small self, my ego, my fear self does not want me to see what it really is, because that's the growth.
Right. Because it's just creating more action of fear to keep it very fuzzy and unclear for you.
Yeah. So it's not clear that I can't take that next step into my growth.
Right.
Okay.
Which the small self is afraid of, that growth.
Right. It's like, back that up.
Do not be growing your bad self.
Yeah. We want her afraid, confused, and pissed.
There we go.
Then we're separate.
There we go.
So we're driving in the car.
You and your man?
Well, not too sure where else anyway, we're driving. We're going somewhere, and I want to make sure we get there on time.
This is you and your husband?
Me and my man.
Okay.
My husband. Mm-hmm. And so he's going to pass where we need to turn left. And he's like, but we can go straight and get there too. And I'm like, if we go straight, we're going to go far east to go west. And now it's like we're 10 to 15 minutes out of our way. He's like, no, it's just 6 of one, half dozen the other. In my mind. I'm like, no, it's not. I can show you the map. And on the map, you can see. It's not 6 of one, half dozen the other. It's definitely a longer way. And I'm noticing my thoughts and how I'm wanting to prove that he's wrong.
I could totally feel that. You're expressing that brilliantly. Okay.
I want him to know he is wrong. And I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix him, and he's going to know the right way to go. It's not going to waste time.
That man of yours. Okay, yeah.
And I'm like watching all these thoughts go on in my head, and this emotion rise up, and my wanting to, and like, what the hell is going on, Trace? So first of all, I was more pissed. He went the way I said, because I said, we don't have time tonight. We got to be at this place.
We don't have time for you to be wrong, Larry.
Yes, exactly. We do not have time, because I know it was a surprise birthday thingy for him. So I knew where we needed to go. And so he's like, it's 6 and 1 and I noticed how much I was pissed about that, how much I wanted him to see that I was right, that he was wrong, that blah, 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 blah. So I'm in the car noticing all these emotions, and then just going, okay, the truth is I love him. He loves me. I'm using my spiritual toolbox, right? I've got my kind of growth toolbox, and I'm pulling out anything and everything I can to get back to love.
Okay.
Because I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, okay, no, the truth is that I love him. I know the truth. I know what's real is love. Everything else is not real. And I'm going there because I don't know how this is for me right now. And I can deal with that later. So I did that. I just kind of worked through that and remembered, yes, I love this man so much. And of course, I love myself. And I don't understand this right now. So this is one that I didn't understand. And I wanted to share how I handled it.
Okay.
Really what I did in that moment was I just went to love. I know this is not somebody abusing me. This is not something I need to handle. This is me having this emotional reaction. And what I'm going to do, I don't understand this reaction. So I love what you shared with me a few months ago, which is laying it on the altar.
Right.
This idea of I'm confused. So basically now I'm talking to the universe, talking to God, talking to source, whatever you want to say, whatever floats your boat. So I'm saying, okay, so I have this challenge right now. I don't see how this is for me. I don't understand my upset, I'm pissed. I don't understand this upset. And I know that it is here for me. So I welcome the guidance on this. I welcome the insight on this. Nice. I welcome the feedback on this. Mm-hmm. That's what I said. And I appreciate whatever I said, kind of along like a prayer, kind of, right?
Did you feel any different when you did that?
Yes, I felt relieved. I felt like, okay, I do not have to know all the answers all the time.
Nice.
There is a much bigger source than me out there. And this is here for me. I do know this, so I can say thank you for this opportunity. I don't know what it means. Please show me the answer. Please guide me, whether it happens today, tomorrow, 5 minutes. It's all good. I know it's going to come. I'm patient through it. I welcome it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Was this in the car or on that night? Mm-hmm.
That's part of my, my little toolbox. Like, oh yeah, right. I don't have to figure this out.
I don't
have to figure this out.
I can totally feel the relief in that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, totally shifts the energy.
I was so much more calm, so much more. And then I'm like, I can talk to Jordan about this.
Okay.
I just talked to God about it, but maybe I could talk to Jordan about it too. Right. But anyway, I mean, in my own mind,
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say that sometimes in our spiritual path, this is not a new concept, that if we spot it, we got it, that the universe everything is a reflection for us. And so it is easy to think, well, why can't I get that? I don't understand it. And then to beat ourselves up about these things, to be impatient with ourselves through it.
Speaking of impatience.
Right? And this is one of the ways I think me giving Larry more patience has allowed me to have more patience with me also. You can't give what you don't have. That's a whole nother topic. But anyway, so I was able to just kind of sit in it and just to give it up. Mm-hmm. To lay it on the altar. And it was lovely. And so I'm sharing this because, well, one, if you have any insight, fantastic. And it's okay if we don't have an insight around it. I laid it on the altar. It's there. That merry-go-round will come back around and around in my life until I know that one. But I just definitely wanted to share how challenging it can be when we can't figure something out, when we're emotionally invested in it and tweaked by it, frustrated by it, hurt by it, any of those feelings.
Did anything come to you after you laid it on the altar?
No.
So did it say, like, I can talk to Jordan about this, though?
Yeah, definitely had that. Like, I could talk to Jordan. Yeah, definitely, I could talk to Jordan about this.
Because you don't think that about everything, either. Because that could have been what I'm saying is that could have been the response.
Oh yeah, right. Because I don't
you don't.
So that could have been my response and then I'm like, oh, this would be a great. And I also know that the universe gives us great podcast ideas. So I'm like, okay, that's a podcast. Mm-hmm. So then that was over the weekend. And I text Jordan like Monday or Tuesday. This is what I'm thinking I wanted to talk about.
Okay. So can I just say thoughts that I have?
Please.
Okay. Number one, you did say it came out of your spiritual toolbox. And I think that's a completely assertive, loving, kind action on your own behalf to lay something on the altar. Mm-hmm. So that's doing something, as it were. And as you experienced, totally shifted you, which is awesome. And it invited a higher frequency. It invited your creator. It invited higher wisdom and truth to come in. So some of the things that I notice about that situation, at least from the sidelines, the way that I look at it, is that he was so sure that he was right. He was absolutely sure that it was 6 1/2 of the other. And you were absolutely right. You thought you were absolutely sure that you were right, that you should take the turnoff and go.
Right. I even had the map pulled up. Like, I even had the map to show him. See,
whatever.
Here's the proof.
Whatever. Exactly. You're proving it. You're defending.
Right.
You're defending.
Right. And I'm like, why am I doing that? Why? Who the flip cares?
Right. And so you're exhibiting the same exact thing, so right about your belief. Right? Yes. And so that's one thing that I would
Oh my gosh.
That's one thing that I would notice. So in this political climate, I see that from both sides of the aisle. Yes. That oh my gosh, the Republicans think this. Oh my gosh, Democrats think this. And they both think they're right. And then I'll have an experience like you just had with your husband and I'll be like, I know how it feels to think you're totally right. And you've got all your proof. Here's all my proof, right? And he's got his proof. He's got his same manila file folder in his brain of his proof of why it's 6 1/2 dozen. So it's like, oh, that's what that looks like. Just to believe that you're totally right and the other person's point of view is off. And that and it's like, oh, I see what that looks like. And it doesn't necessarily mean, and he believes just as strongly as you that he's right. So it's just interesting to note that. And again, it brings unity, like, oh, that's just what's happening. That's just, that's one thing that's happening. So that's one thing. So
Okay. That's the pause button right there.
Okay. Or she wants a thumb more. I don't know.
Pause. There we go.
Okay. She wants to game with me.
I do.
Okay.
Well, Galaga, because I'm like older. So that has been coming up for me so much.
Really?
Oh, really? I have noticed
Y'all.
that, and this is one of those things where I go, oh, I totally can see that. Like Larry, he's so cute. And he'll be like, somebody will be saying something. He'll be like, no, that's wrong. No. And I'm like, oh, that's so rude. And and then I'm like, oh, look at me. Oh my God. I bet I do that. I bet I go, no, I don't know. And I notice how often I do that to my man. I'll be in my mind, more mentally than I do verbally.
Which
because
qualifies for affecting your life.
Totally.
The things we do in our mind.
Yeah.
Even if they don't come out of our mouth.
Life. I'm sure I'm right. Okay, I don't have the map, maybe, but in my mind, I'm right. And then I go, oh my God, I was so wrong about that. And that's what it looks like when you do that. When Larry is being all, I'm right, no, bop. And I'm so tweaked by that. And then I got to experience the universe in so loving, so kind, allowed me, it was really fast. I thought I was super right about something. And like in a nanosecond, found out I was so off, but I was sure I was right. So I got the experience of this, and those directions. But my mind wants to say it's different. It's different because I had the proof, but it's the exact right. And I was so confused because there's so many things I know he's wrong about, and it doesn't bug me. It's like, okay, whatever, knock yourself out. Think that. I have nothing on it. So I was very confused by this because sometimes it's completely fine. But I think it's just this emphaticness. It's another version of being emphatic that you're right about something.
Did the fact that it was a surprise party and there were other people?
No, it was a surprise, not a surprise party. It was just a surprise. It was directions there. Like I knew where we were going. He didn't, but I told him the general vicinity. So it was, we had a reservation. I mean, nothing, not a big deal. It was sunset and I wanted to be there in time to watch the sunset. So it was like, I didn't want to miss the sunset.
So he's like messing with your flow and your jam and what your expectations and how you want it to be.
Yes.
And your enjoyment. You want to go enjoy that. And in your mind, you're seeing him as an impediment.
Yeah. Yes. So you add all that.
Yeah. So
normally in the situations where I can go, he's wrong. No big deal.
Right.
But in this one, he's totally ruining my feng shui.
Exactly. And so then I would say, then I can say to myself, oh, when someone's totally I think they're going to ruin my feng shui, they're going to ruin my plan and for all my enjoyment, then I get really irritated. Then it raises the bar, it raises the stakes.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. And then I can see, right, when I get impatient with David over the remote, I'm totally ruining his feng shui. He is not down for a night of friction with me.
Yeah.
He just wants to watch the ball game. Or whatever it is. Right. He just wants to watch that show or get to the channel or record that show that he wants. He just wants to do what he wants to do. And so then I would see that too. Like, oh, that's another way that people get impatient, is because it's not just this little moment about directions. It's all the other things, and I'm making it mean he's blowing my evening. He's going to blow this perfect plan that I have. Yes. So there's that.
No, those are delicious. Those are you really did, I want to say, put the whipped cream and the cherry with that's what, because I was confused by my massive reaction, and it's because I had these things planned that we had 4 things planned that evening, because I am such a loving wife.
And loving wives plan beautiful evenings for their husbands' birthdays.
Okay. And everything, we had wiggle room everywhere, but the sunset, there's not wiggle room. It sets at a particular time.
Right.
So that is very, very cool. Right. My expectation. Oh my God, it feels so much better.
Lovely.
Yes. Lovely. And that's the thing about laying it on the altar and just saying, I welcome. I welcome the feedback for this. I welcome the guidance on this. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is, and however long it takes, it does. It's so lovely to give your problem to somebody else. Here's my problem, and I know they're going to fix it for me. They're going to guide me. Right. It's just going to happen.
Right.
I knew it was a podcast. I had the idea to call Jordan. There we go.
I have one other thing about that.
Okay, go ahead.
BOGO? What did you say?
Yeah, it's a BOGO. It's I have this situation, and then I get to talk to you. So it's great for our podcast. Oh,
I see. For your own growth of your soul.
And then I get to talk to Jordan about it too.
On a podcast. Uh-huh. Okay, so one other aspect that occurred to me.
Yes.
As I'm in the car, for me, projecting myself into your situation, is I would want to, so just let me know if this had any flavor for you, is I would be he should just trust me. I know. I
don't have that one.
You don't have that? Okay, so I have that one. I have that one with David. It's if he only trusted me, he doesn't trust me. He doesn't trust me. Uh-huh. He should go with my knowledge. He doesn't trust me. And that can create, as it clear my throat, that can create
more opportunities for
feelings. Growth. Yeah, opportunities for my growth.
Again, I love that so much, because this is why we know that these situations are for us.
Custom made.
They are custom. They are perfect.
Custom made.
Perfect.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say?
The piece to me that was significant, and I've been able to practice it more often, not all the time, is if I don't know something, it's okay. Mm-hmm. That just because I'm on a spiritual path, just because I am on this, I have been, and we get to talk and all this kind of stuff, does not mean that I'm expected to know everything. And I never have the right to beat myself up. I do have the ability to ask for help. And I know in the past I would be very short with myself and very impatient with myself and think, well, even with the remote, God, as a spiritual person, I should be so patient. Right? That's just, right? That's a way to separate ourselves. That's another way of separating from the truth of who we are, which is love incarnate. There's no love when I'm being impatient with myself. I've had this expectation about myself. For somebody who's spiritual, my expectation is they don't ever struggle.
Yes.
Right.
If I was spiritual enough, if I was nailing this spirituality thing,
right, I
would just be calm and peaceful and zen all the time.
Yeah. And
bullshit.
And I would know everything. And it would all come to me. I would know everything. But it's just, there's always guidance. There's always help. So I'm good. Anything else on your end?
Just the way that you said I never have a right to beat myself up. I don't know if right's the right word or not, but you do always have a choice.
Yes.
You can, for sure, beat yourself up, and you probably will periodically here and there, because you probably won't do it perfectly.
I didn't love the word right either.
Yeah. My perspective is that it's not beneficial to beat myself up. It's not loving. It's not helpful. It doesn't improve the situation. It doesn't engender greater connection between me and myself or the people around me. So I just wanted to interject
I love that.
that.
Much more loving. Outstanding. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, we will see y'all on the next podcast.
Bye.